That boy who used to spend days in the garage with only his imagination and a couple hand tools has gotten lost in the grind of the real world. I think it's time we find him.
Before YouTube, there was Norm Abrams, the man in flannel, and the new Yankee workshop. I loved that show. I devoured that show. I wanted it all. His shop, his tools, his skill, his beard. All right, the one thing I could have, I didn't want, but he inspired me.
He walked through houses, museums, stores, finding his inspiration in the past, then built it. Old school, new school, blending both, it didn't matter. Just an absolute master of his craft. It's only fitting I start this series with him. My first and still favorite, the man who started it all for me, showed me what woodworking was and what it could be, sending my imagination reeling. Today we take on his shaker-inspired stool. And I'm going to keep it as close as I can to the original. Not exact. His was a 3-step stool. I don't need to go that high, so I'm thinking more like the Texas-style 2-step. So why did I choose this build? It was pine, it was shaker, and a stool, and I had a fighting chance of pulling it off. For now, we have our wood selected and we cut it to size at scar. Then set the table saw up for some ripping action. And remember, there is no more important safety rule than to wear these safety glasses. I'm looking for 11 inches in width for these two panels, so it's just low and slow. Drop the blade to just a freckle above the board and slide it along the fence. I'm going with a 3-board laminate here. The center and wings panel, it's called. We'll be cutting the shaker cove out of the bottom, and I really didn't want the arch to reach into the legs, or worse, have the glue up seam right down the middle. By keeping the wide board in the center, I'm putting solid wood where the stress is highest. It's tight bond for me, a little rub joint and then clamp her down. Add a caul if needed. Since it's cold outside, I'm going to wipe them down and haul them inside to dry overnight. Morning comes and more snow is here. The winter that never ends. Honestly, I think I'm just getting old. I used to love the snow, snowmobiles, sledding with the kids. But now my snow angels look more like someone fell and couldn't get back up. Not sure if you can see this, but the panels aren't level. I noticed this during the glue up but wasn't worried. The center board is actually rough cut and a little thicker than 3/4 inches, so I feed the wind. Probably the single most satisfying thing you can do in a wood shop. Planing wood to thickness. I just love it. Now, the one thing that separates a shaker-style stool from a lot of others is the depth. It's not consistent. The legs, if you will, or sides will taper up a little. Now, our stool is small at 12 inches high, so I'm thinking only a 3/4 inch taper on the front and back. Table saw, miter saw, circular saw, pick your poison. For me, it's scar. The sliding miter saw has a 13.5 inch cutting length. So I just square up the tops and bottoms, then drop the blade down, working the shadow line until it aligns with the required angle, 3 degrees. Clamp her down and let her rip. Flip and rip. I only go halfway through, then finish her off with another quick pass. Sometimes when ripping, that wood can be under massive pressure and bind up on the blade. If you look closely, you can see we have some snipe. The Wen generally does a better job than that. I might have to adjust it a bit. Either way, it's just a quick sand, and then, yeah, that felt great. Numb fingers and now no fingerprints. I wonder if Norm ever did this. Unable to feel my fingers, I switch to the orbital and finish her off. And then praise the mini split. Mitsubishi be her name. Yes, I've had it all year. I'm just too cheap to turn her on, but I have a lot of joinery to do with this build, so I break down and crank her up. Taper's looking good. I lay the first bit out. I come in 2 inches on each side, find a suitable circle and trace my cove. Then I lay the steps out, 5 inches up for the first, then 6 for the next. That way, when I put a 7/8 inch tread on, each rise will be about 6 inches. Perfect for this little step stool. Now, hate my jigsaw, but 2 tips saved me this time. 1, Jason from Jasco Goods used a metal blade in his, and damn if it didn't work in mine. Cutting so much cleaner than a wood blade. Go figure. And 2, Norm Abrams for the win. I never even thought of using a straight edge with my jigsaw. I do with my circular saw, but never my jigsaw. Slick and smooth, straight. The steps cut out, I move on to the braces, 13 inches long and 1.5 inches wide. But I ripped 2 of them with a 3-degree angle to match the taper. The Cove is next. Again, I use the jigsaw, then just flip my benchtop sander up and use the end to smooth out the curves. 120 grit. So, that special joint I mentioned at the start, remember that? Well, when I rewatched Norm's video, I found out it was only a half dovetail. Still, it's pretty special for me. I've never done dovetails, let alone half of one. So I lay it all out and go at 30 degrees. I use my jigsaw on one cut and Temple Tools a little demon on the others. She works brilliantly. And perfect. At this point, I think this is easy, but let's just say it was beginner's luck. The other 3 came out okay-ish. But nowhere near as clean. I had some little odd tilt from front to back, leaving a little gap in there. I know they make jigs for these, little handheld ones, even ones with magnets. I might need to look into them. This joint is amazing though. If you really think about it, it locks in and holds it all tight, not allowing the sides to pull apart. The back goes easier, just a jigsaw, and honestly, nowhere near as clean as a hand sawing did. I sand again. My ADHD started kicking in after the first half dovetail. I know that's horrible, right? I did 1 half dovetail, it was fun, and my mind is already craving the next project. And this one isn't done yet. If I could take one thing from the masters of the craft, patience or precision would be it. All right, let's make it 2 things. Following Norm's lead, it's just glue and a couple finished nails in each one. The treads are easy. They're about 7/8 inch thick. The bottom step gets a 1/2 inch round over on 3 sides, creating a nice full bull nose. I do the end grain first, then the face grain. The top step gets done on all 4 sides though, and is a 1/4 inch wider. Glue and some finished nails, and we're done. Would Norm approve? Probably not. He would be like, A for effort, but B- for result. Look, I loved doing the half dovetails. The first one for sure. It's like a puzzle, trying to get them to fit perfectly. I can see why people love doing them. It's patience and precision, and it's addictive. I am convinced now more than ever that Norm set the standard, and that standard still holds today. Next week's video is well underway. Any guesses on who inspired that one? As always, thank you for watching and choosing to spend 15 minutes building with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Until the next time.